Right now on News 13, a proposed dredging project on the South Strand aims to improve navigation and support future economic growth. Tonight, why some environmental groups have problems with the plan. Plus, shoppers will be out in full force in the next few days looking to save money on their back-to-school needs. Coming up, a preview of this year's tax-free weekend.
Coverage you can count on at 6 starts now.
With modest means and very low-income people. Most of the time, those people end up navigating courts on their own.
First at 6, South Carolina has the fewest attorneys per capita in the nation, according to the American Bar Association. But advocates say the issue goes far beyond a simple shortage of lawyers. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Adriana Lawrence. In this News 13 special report, Morgan Baker gives us a closer look at the challenges of accessing legal help in South Carolina.
Imagine walking into a courthouse alone to navigate a legal process full of unfamiliar procedures and legal terms. According to Jefferson Coulter, the director of the University of South Carolina Law School's pro bono program, that's the reality for 70% of people involved in civil cases in South Carolina.
The courts are built by lawyers for lawyers, but most people aren't lawyers and don't have lawyers.
According to the American Bar Association, South Carolina has the lowest number of attorneys per capita in the nation, at just over 2 attorneys per 1,000 people. While the attorney shortage can make legal help harder to find, Coulter says it isn't the only barrier.
South Carolina Legal Services is our state agency that provides legal aid to low-income people. They have to turn away, I'm going to guess, around 3/4 of the people that contact them because they just don't have enough staff. For people that are over the income guidelines, they tend to be the working poor, and they just have access to no resources.
Besides cost, another issue is location. Coulter says there is at least 1 county in South Carolina that has no lawyers and 14 counties with fewer than 10.
It's challenging, stressful, and difficult for the people, and they get less than good results oftentimes when they're representing themselves, even if they have a good case.
This lack of access can be especially significant in cases involving personal safety. Lisa Martin, the director of the University of South Carolina Law School's Domestic Violence Clinic, says a study they conducted shows in 23 of 46 counties, 85% or more of people in order of protection cases had no legal representation.
And in some of the most rural counties, there were no lawyers in the order protection cases heard that year. So the rates at which people have access to lawyers to help them in their cases really vary strikingly across the state.
So what will it take to close the gap? One way to get more attorneys could be increasing participation in programs like the South Carolina Bar's mock trial program. Ariana Gore, a North Myrtle Beach native and a current United States Assistant Attorney for the District of South Carolina, says she decided she wanted to pursue a career in law after participating in the mock trial program at North Myrtle Beach High School.
Growing up, I don't think I knew any attorneys until I had my assigned attorney coaches through the mock trial program. So for me, not only was it an opportunity to kind of learn how to think critically, learn the art of public speaking, and how to work with a team, but it also opened my eyes to this career path that I ended up following.
Gore now coaches high school mock trial teams and hopes more students will consider a career in law. But attracting more attorneys is only part of the solution. Coulter says expanding pro bono work and legal clinics can help people who need assistance today. One example is USC Law School's Palmetto Leader, a traveling legal clinic that brings free legal services to underserved communities.
The legal deserts in South Carolina, so the ones that have the fewest attorneys and the highest poverty population, we prioritize taking the Palmetto Leader to those counties where we'll do free legal clinics.
Martin says ultimately, to get more lawyers, funding will be necessary.
It can be grant funding that has often been the source of free legal services. So that can come from any level of government. It can come from private foundations, donations to organizations that provide free legal services. The more money these organizations have, the more opportunity they have to hire staff that can support people.
While there isn't a single solution to South Carolina's attorney shortage, advocates say expanding legal aid, supporting pro bono work, and investing in future attorneys could help people get the justice they need. Reporting in Conway, Morgan Baker, News 13.
Morgan, thank you. The Marlboro County Sheriff's Office arrested a man after authorities say 8 dogs attacked and injured a person. Sammy Bethea faces a string of charges, including 8 counts of owning dangerous animals that attack and injure a human being. Investigators say Bethea admitted the dogs lived with him at his home on Old Wire Road. Officials say the attack happened Friday, but we don't know the victim's condition tonight. Deputies and animal control captured 6 of the dogs, but could not find the other 2. Authorities say one of those 2 was shot during the attack. The Robeson County Sheriff's Office says a man shot and killed his uncle. Tyler Woods faces a murder charge in connection with the death of 56-year-old Earl Woods. The shooting happened Friday on Philadelphus Road near Pembroke. The Sheriff's Office says Tyler left before deputies got there, but later turned himself in. Anyone with information on the shooting is asked to call the Robeson County Sheriff's Office. Well, the debate over a proposed dredging project at Murrells Inlet continues. At 5, we told you about concerns raised by the South Carolina Environmental Law Project. Now, News 13's Cameron Townsend shows us why the group says it's not alone.
Georgetown County says this project would restore safe navigation through over 16 miles worth of Murrells Inlet waterways. But the South Carolina Environmental Law Project says regulators should take a second look at what experts are saying before they make any decisions. The map on your screen shows the waterways included in the county's dredging plan. South Carolina Environmental Law Project is asking state and federal regulators to require additional oyster and marsh surveys, arguing the county's map doesn't fully reflect the project's environmental impacts. And the group says it's not the only ones raising those concerns. So you guys are not the only ones that are concerned.
That's right, yes. The analysis of the third-party scientist, and then also DNR wrote a comment letter with concerns. So did the National Marine Fisheries Services.
One of those concerns is where the dredged materials would go. Unlike beach renourishment, which brings sand onto the shore, this project would remove sediment from Murrells Inlet and place it at a disposal site off Huntington Beach State Park. South Carolina Environmental Law Project says it wants regulators to take a closer look at whether that's the best option.
Trying to find a balance between the recreational interests and for boaters, but then also wanting to protect the wildlife that makes this place so fun to recreate in.
For now, this project is still in the permitting process as state and federal regulators decide whether more changes need to happen before this project can move forward. In Murrells Inlet, Cameron Townsend, News 13.
Cameron, thank you. A 15-year-old was hit and killed while riding a bicycle in Darlington County. The Darlington County Coroner's Office says Jonathan Cullen was a rising freshman at Darlington High School. The wreck happened around 9 Saturday night on Billy Farrell Road. Troopers say Cullen and 2 other people were riding their bikes west when a car hit 2 of them. We don't know the condition of the second person. The wreck remains under investigation. 1 person is dead after they were hit and killed walking on Interstate 95 in Dillon County. The wreck happened shortly before 1 this morning near the 180-mile marker. The Highway Patrol says the pedestrian was in the road when they were hit by an SUV that was headed south. The pedestrian's name has not been officially released. No one in the SUV was hurt. News 13 is your local election headquarters, and happening tomorrow, Republican candidates hoping to become South Carolina's next U.S. Senator will meet in a debate ahead of the August 11th special primary. You can watch the live 1-hour debate tomorrow night at 7 right here on News 13. 5 of the 12 candidates to file met next-star debate criteria, including interim U.S. Senator Graham, Congressman Ralph Norman and Russell Fry, former South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford, and Greenville businessman Mark Lynch. Graham, however, will be in Washington for Senate business tomorrow and cannot attend the debate. The debate will happen at the studios of our sister station, WCBD in Mount Pleasant. I'll be there tomorrow to bring you full live coverage before the debate at 4, 5, and 6, and a wrap-up after on News 13 at 11. Now, early primary voting runs this Wednesday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Primary day is next Tuesday. A runoff, if needed, will happen 2 weeks later. The winner moves on to the November general election and will face Democrat Dr. Annie Andrews. And a quick programming note, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy will air at their normal times tomorrow night, but on our sister station, WBTW 13.2, a list of those channels for various services and devices is on your screen. Well, attention back to school shoppers or anyone looking to save a little money. This weekend marks South Carolina's annual tax-free weekend. Shoppers can make purchases minus the state's sales tax August 7th through 9th. This includes school supplies, computers, clothing and accessories, shoes, and other school year essentials. It also includes some bed and bath items.
I get a whole new classroom this year, so any decorations, anything to put my students' names on. Sometimes I look for toys, just kind of see what I want. You never know what you find in here.
And you'll find a list of eligible items on our website, WBTW.com. North Carolina does not have a tax-free weekend. Horry County will soon open its 26th Recycling and Convenience Center. Next on News 13, details on the new site, including the areas it will serve. And Frank has your most accurate forecast when News 13's local coverage you can count on continues.